So the question I get is, how can I articulate my projects or articulate what I'm learning? So in this video, I'm going to give you a simple step that I use to help me break everything down and even understand it for myself to be able to translate it to someone on a fifth grade learning or even reading level. All right. So I'm going to switch over to my other screen and we're going to get started. So as you see here, I'm based in my Azure documentation. All right. So normally I'm an AWS GCP guy, but I've been learning Azure and I wanted to use Azure for me to show you all because I'm not, too familiar with Azure a lot. I have a lot of coaches that are, but I'm still diving into it and I'm still learning. So I want to dive into a service to understand this documentation. And, let me give you a little bit of context. We all been in some type of documentation. We've all been trying to learn hands-on. We've all been trying to complete a quick tutorial. And the documentation sometimes is super technical. We may get the gist of what's going on, but we don't fully understand a lot of the things that the documentation actually lists, some of the technical jargon. And when we're trying to convey what we're learning, we actually think that we have to convey that same technical jargon so we can sound professional or we can sound more technical than we are. And that leads to analysis paralysis. That leads to us just having plain on anxiety and taking the first step and even trying to just document what we're doing or even just jot down what we're doing so we can explain it. So I'm doing this so you can understand that I don't know everything about Azure. So I'm going to take a service that gives us some technical explanation in the documentation. And then we're going to use ChatGPT to break it down so we can convey this to someone in the fifth grade reading level or fifth grade, understanding. Not saying that they are on a fifth grade level, but studies show if you could break something down simple and basic on a fifth grade reading level or a fifth grade understanding for someone, then you have better concept of understanding it and they can understand it just like that. It makes it super easy and basic for them. And this is also great for someone who's in a customer front role and you're struggling to do that. This exercise can help you greatly. All right. So let's say I go to Azure AI services, right? And I want to go to speech and I want to learn more about speech to text. Okay. And we see some, pronunciation assessment, diarization. What is that? Okay. Let me understand what diarization is. So, okay, in this quick start, you run an application for speech-to-text transcription and real-time diarization. Diarization distinguishes between the different speakers who can participate in this conversation. So that's not really what we're looking for. So let me go back to Azure Services, and let's go to App Services, okay? So what are we going to look for? I'm just going to, let's look for description of App Services. Okay. Here we go. This is perfect. Azure App Service is an HTTP-based service for hosting web applications, REST APIs, and mobile backends. You could develop your favorite language, and all of this technical jargon it has with technical tools and services. Someone may get overwhelmed and like, hey, I kind of understand a little bit, but I want to understand fully. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy this, and we're going to head over to ChatGPT. I already got that open right now. All right. So I'm in my ChatGPT console. And the first thing I'm going to do is just give it a prompt. I'm going to give you a description of a service I would like for you to break this down for me on a fifth grade reading level so I can understand better. Now, there's probably better prompts, right? But I'm conveying with ChatGPT the way I talk and the way I convey, okay? So I'm pasting this in, and let's see what it does. All right. Okay, so now we have, if we read again, Azure App Services, HTTP-based service for hosting web applications, REST APIs, and mobile backends, and you can develop in your favorite language. and it has applications can run and scale with ease on both Windows and Linux environments, and it has a blah, 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 right? But if we get it on a fifth grade reading level, Azure App Service is a tool that helps you put your websites and apps on the internet. It looks like a home for your web stuff, making sure it works and it can handle a lot of people using it at once. You can use it, excuse me, you can use different computer languages to create your websites or apps like .NET, Java, Python, and more. And with Azure App Service, your website gets some extra help from Microsoft Azure, and this includes security, load balancing, and even breaks it down. So now, right, we have an understanding of exactly how we can convey what we've done. Because maybe you did a project with Azure App Service, or maybe you're doing some hands-on labs right now, and you just need to understand how this works. This gives you a complete understanding. So even if you don't know what continuous deployment is, it automatically updates your websites when you make changes. Okay, I understand that now. So instead of using the technical jargon, continuous deployment, because some people say, right here, additionally, you can take advantage of DevOps capabilities such as continuous deployment from Azure DevOps. And you're like, what does that mean? Well, it automatically updates your websites when you make changes. All right. And it takes care of package management. What does that mean? It helps manage and organize the parts of your website. Okay, I got it. So, what if, right, we've been doing a project, and what if, you've been following someone who's done a project, or you've done a project on your own using the SORF method, right? Scenario, obstacle, action, result, and failures. We're going to head to Medium. I got a Medium pulled up right now. And we're going to look at someone's implementing Azure infrastructure as code, DevOps, or Terraform project. Now, in the project overview, this primary objective was to automate the entire lifecycle of our infrastructure development, from code validation to resource provisioning using Azure DevOps and Terraform. Now, if you were anything like me when you're trying to get into the industry and trying to learn, you're like, what? I don't, I don't, I don't know. So let me highlight this whole project objective or overview and copy and paste in ChatGPT. So we're in ChatGPT now, and I'm going to say, do the same here. All right. So we're going to take this objective and we're going to break it down. All right. So look at the difference. And you can literally play with your prompts to even get a better outcome that we're getting right now. Right. So once again, the primary objective was to use it, automate the entire lifecycle for our infrastructure deployment, from code validation to resource provisioning using Azure DevOps and Terraform. This included setting up continuous integration, continuous delivery. You're like, okay, the objective now, because some of you, right, let's be super transparent. Some of you, when you're doing your projects, so you're doing hands-on labs, we use ChatGPT anyway, and we create technical jargon and objectives and scenarios to showcase that we may know what we're talking about, and we can use this jargon. But we're scared to death inside because we're always thinking, what if someone asks us about these projects? Well, this is what you have to think about. If someone asks you about your projects and you've used ChatGPT or anyone to create some, explaining within your projects, and it's using technical jargon, how are you going to explain it if you don't know it? So the best thing for you to do is stop worrying about putting that technical jargon in your documentation and just explaining it on a fifth grade understanding or a fifth grade reading level. Okay. Here, right here, somebody who's used this objective can literally reframe it and use an objective this way. The main goal was to make the process of setting up and managing our computer systems automatic and easy. We wanted to do this from the very beginning steps of checking our code to the final steps of setting up an actual resource we need. You got it? Because I got it. That makes plenty of sense. Okay. And then it goes down to, we use tools that helps us, like Azure DevOps. What is that? This is a tool that helps with managing code and setting up automatic processes. Terraform. What is that? A tool that helps create and manage our computer resources. Like, that makes sense. I can explain that to someone who doesn't know what I'm doing, or I can explain it to someone who's even technical, but I can just break it down so I know what I'm talking about. And guess what? The technical people are going to appreciate you explaining this part at a fifth grade understanding, because that's what they want someone to do, to be able, if they put you in front of a customer, this is gold, right? If you're talking to or integrating with an internal customer, this is gold. Okay, so I wanted to show you a quick step that you can use as far as ChatGPT to help break down your technical documentation and your technical understanding to a fifth grade understanding and a fifth grade reading level, so you can use it to teach others or explain to others what you're doing. And think about this: you learn more by teaching others how to do it. Okay, so if you can understand it and if you could break it down where you can digest it and like, okay, that makes sense, then you can easily explain it to others. You can easily explain it in an interview. You can easily explain it to your hiring manager. You can easily explain it to your tech lead. All right, so use this tip. Thank you so much. If you have someone that's struggling with this, just share this with them. Our goal is to help you get better, help you think, act, and gain experience in solving problems as a cloud engineer, and help you land a role and ultimately make the most money you could possibly make. All right. So thank you once again. Share this with someone who you think who needs it, and can't wait till the next one. See you later.